All right, so here we go again. We will try this one more time. Hopefully it will work. All right, everyone, let me know if that fixed the sound issues. I went in and restarted everything, so we shall see. I think I'm learning I need to get a new laptop. This one, just not cutting it. Okay, so we shall see. I think I'm learning I need to get a new laptop. This one, just not cutting it. And we're scratchy. Awesome. Man, I tell you. And we're scratchy. Awesome. Man, I tell you. All right, switch mics. Let's try this one. All right, switch mics. Let's try this one. How was that? How was that? All right, I'm going to go with this one and hope that it works. Let me know if the sound breaks out. Just type in the chat. All right, everyone, how are you doing? It is Friday, August 5th. The week is coming to a close, right? Hopefully your week is good. Hopefully, let me know if the sound breaks out. Hopefully your week has been great. Curious what everybody's doing for the weekend, what your business plans are. Maybe you got some personal plans, you know, all kinds of things. Oh, almost forgot Earl. So I've definitely got a lot of plans to be listing things this weekend, maybe pick up a few things for Amazon as well. And, you know, just keep trying to get these listings blown up. It's just a never-ending struggle. So a couple things to talk about today. Hang on one second. Let me make sure I got this right. Yeah. Monday night, we will have none other than Karin will be the host on Revenue Wrap. And she will be talking about her experiences. And we went on a recent sourcing trip, which I guess was about a week ago. The video we put together, which has gotten a tremendous response, by the way. So thank you guys for that. She's ecstatic about that. She was really nervous about it and didn't know if people would like it or would get anything valuable out of it, but she has been very pleasantly surprised. So she's going to come on the show Monday night. You guys will have a chance to ask her questions and so on and see what it's like for the other half of the equation in these reselling families, if you will. Some of you guys might be in the same situation, or maybe you want your other half to join you in reselling. And so it'll be kind of cool, I think, to have her on and, you know, just kind of see what her mindset is around it. she has a different take on things than I do. We see it a little differently sometimes, and that's a good thing. You need to have some balance there, and you need to have another opinion, another set of eyes, another set of hands, another mind to think through things, see things differently, and you can learn from that. So I'm excited about her coming on the show. It should be a lot of fun. I'd like to tell you I know what she's going to say, but I don't. I have no idea what she's going to say and and that's probably the best way to do it. So it'll just be off the cuff and from her heart and from her head, and you'll get whatever you get, but it'll be cool. So if you haven't, if I know there's other shows out there where couples come on, like, Chad's show, the Golden Finger Picker, he and Kim sometimes are on the show together, which is pretty cool. It's a cool dynamic when you have a couple like that together. I think it sort of lends itself to like this cool synergy between them. The two are greater than the sum of the parts. So I'm hopeful that that'll be the same experience we will all have Monday night. I think it will be. She's not really shy about giving her opinions and so on, and voicing, talking about things. eBay's blowing up these last few minutes. Sorry about that. We're not sorry about that. Maybe I'm not sorry. No, I'm not sorry at all. But yeah, so she will be good for, whatever opinions you want to, she will be sure to share them. We've gotten many, many comments about that video she did. I mean, just crazy number of comments already. It's not even a week it's been out. It's been out, what, about 3 days, I think? Tuesday night, I think we got it up. So not even 3 days. So, that's pretty cool. That alone has been a blessing, that she's been able to have an impact on some people's lives with that video and their businesses and so on. And, I always say in this business, people ask me sometimes, why do you do a YouTube channel? And why are you out here talking about these things? And it's not for ego. It's not for money. It's not for fame and fortune. It's not for any of those things. It's really to help people out. I mean, there's a teacher inside of me that just won't quit. And I've been doing it kind of my whole life in a lot of ways, and I really love it. So I like teaching people what I know. I like hearing their stories. I like trying to figure out what will help them and deliver that content to them. And Karin has got the same kind of soul inside of her. She's also going to be talking about some other life events and so on Monday night. Maybe a big announcement. So that's all I'm going to say. Maybe a big announcement on Monday night. So be sure you tune in for that show, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I don't want to give anything away, but so that'll be kind of interesting. But you won't know unless you see the show. You won't know unless you see the show. It's a good rhyme, right? That works. All right, so I see that some of you are out there. You're out there listing. How is your business going? What are your challenges this week? What have you been up against? What have been, what obstacles do you feel like are in your path and you need to navigate? Maybe we can talk about those, some of the chat like we do. Yeah, Emily, if you've got 1,400 listings up, that's really good. I mean, you're doing awesome. I mean, getting up to that level is just going to be, I mean, that's quite a bit more than I have already. And I can appreciate the time and energy that you put into that. So good for you. I mean, I'm sure you see decent sales from that. As you just benefit from economies of scale, guys. Like if you have 1,000 listings up, you're likely to do twice the sales you will if you have 500. I mean, it's just math, right? I mean, it's not going to be exactly the same, but anyway. Gain says, don't know how I find the live video show listening. Yeah, you should see if you go to my channel. I think if you subscribe, Gain, I believe it sends you an email link saying that that I'm live. We could post it here in the chat if you wanted to. I'll post it. I don't know if you can see the chat though, so I don't know if that really helps any. Yeah, I don't think I can really send it to you very easily. But yeah, so if you should get an email gain about that. And it should allow you to log on straight from the email and be able to see the show. It just pulls up a YouTube window, and it's got the chat box off to the side. As you guys notice, I put the little name slide down below, the little lower third. Just thought that'd be something a little different. I don't know. Just trying to change it up, keep it interesting for you guys. Yeah, but, talk about, your challenges and so on. I mean, I love hearing about people's challenges and trying to figure out ways to help them with it. I mean, that's definitely going to be an ongoing and elevated part of my business going forward, is going to be, how can I help you with your mindset and so on. And the thing is, guys, here's what's funny that I found in my journey, and maybe you've got the same thing. The mental blocks, the mental obstacles that you are challenging are far greater than the physical or financial or, location based. I mean, you can overcome those, but if your mind is not right in this business, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it doesn't matter. You could have 10 stores full of the most amazing items in the world to source a mile away from your house. But man, if you don't think you can go out there and find good items to resell, or you're afraid of the competition, or you're afraid that you will get negative feedback when you sell something and somebody doesn't like the condition or something. I mean, those mental blocks are far greater obstacles than any other type of obstacle you may face. And I got to say, guys, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but for me, it's like most mental blocks come down to fear. And I heard somebody say recently that there's two types of fear. There's fear of not measuring up, and there's fear of running out of supply. And I think there's a lot of truth to that. This idea that you're afraid of, you're not going to measure up to other resellers, maybe measure up to how well your family thinks you should be doing. You're not going to measure up to the Mark Cubans and the Warren Buffetts of the world, or even in our world, the Sam Cohens and people like that, who are just really at the top of the food chain. But really, that fear is more based in the comparison game. You're trying to compare yourself to what other people think you should do and how you should do it and what sort of results you should have and when you should get them. You've got to let go of those fears. I mean, I understand them. I've had them too, like my whole life. I mean, you fight them every day. They don't go away just because you say, oh, I'm going to have no more fear. But you can't let them paralyze you and stop you from moving forward with your goals. And the other one is this fear of running out of supply. Like, you've figured out how to do it. And I don't mean physical supply. I mean, this idea that, well, I've gone out and I've created a business and it's successful and it's doing, well for me. I like where I'm at, but what's going to happen next week? What's going to happen a month from now, a year from now? I mean, what happens if this no longer works? You're running out of supply. You're running out of what it is that's giving you success. You adapt and you do something different is exactly what you'll do. I mean, you adapted to get to this point. You adapted to become an entrepreneur. You adapted to become a reseller. You adapted from wherever it is in your life to do this. You can adapt and do something completely different if this goes away, or if this is no longer cutting it for you. So, fear of running out and fear of not measuring up are two huge, huge fears that I think a lot of us in the reselling community, we run into. And both of them can destroy your business. They can destroy your results. They can destroy your mindset if you let them. So you've got to find ways to overcome those. And I think you just do it every day in little ways. It's not one big aha moment when all of a sudden the light bulb goes on and you say, oh, I'm no longer afraid. You're still going to have fears. I mean, if you watch interviews of the most successful people in the world, they will still tell you they get nervous. They wonder if things are going to work or not. But what separates them from the people who are, not successful is the successful people don't stop. They don't quit. They don't give in to those fears. they acknowledge them, they acknowledge that they're there, and then they move forward. So anyway, that's my fear rant for the day. Not a rant, but you guys know what I mean. Darren says, knowledge equals success and confidence. Sure. I mean, yeah, knowledge will lead to your success, and it will give you confidence to continue. Absolutely. Yeah, or even if you're not successful. I agree, Darren. There is a fear of success, the obligation behind being successful. Yeah, greener pastures. I heard, I think it was Gary Vaynerchuk, who I'm a big fan of, said the other day, I was watching an interview with him, and he said, most people are in the middle. They're not successful or they're not unsuccessful. They're in the middle and they're stuck there because they don't know if they have what it takes to go up a level or 2 or 10. But at the same time, they can still do just enough to get by so they don't fall further down the rungs of the ladder. And I think there's a lot to that. Some people are afraid of being successful because they think, well, how am I going to maintain it? What happens when I fall or I'm not successful? And, the entrepreneurial landscape is littered with people who went broke and had to start over many times, not even just once. So what? That's just part of it. Failures lead to more successes. That's just part of it. You have to accept those. Are you a full-time eBayer? Well, eBay and Amazon, yes. MJ, yes. Yvonne, again, scared of jeans. Scared, nice. That's a nice Southern word there, I think. How many returns on average? Main reasons for returns. My returns, Yvonne, for jeans are like 3%, maybe even 2.5%. They're not that high. And I think that's pretty good for an item that people aren't really trying on. But that comes down to taking good pictures, writing a good keyword, title, and having measurements. So, and the main reason for return, by far, size. Did not fit. And it's not because I didn't put the size right usually. I mean, I had one the other day where I screwed that up completely. And I gave someone a refund. And because I went back and looked at the listing, I was like, man, I totally bungled that one. I bungled the inseam by like 6 inches, which is a lot. But most of the time, it's just because people either don't know what size they are, or they're buying a new item, a new jean or new brand that they haven't worn before, and they think it's going to fit like some other one. So that's what you run into. Silver Hair Stacker says, I'm afraid of making too much money. Aren't we all? Gary V's the man. Yes, he is. I could do with a few less F-bombs, but it's just who he is. Sometimes that gets a little distracting, but man, he has nuggets of wisdom just coming out of every pore of his body. I've always made a buck and adapted and been hustling my whole life. Yeah, Mark, and that's what it takes, right? It is a hustle. Yvonne says, ouch. I don't know, Yvonne, did you set on something that hurt you? I'm not sure what you're saying ouch for. Can you explain your transition to going full time? There wasn't a transition, MJ. I just did it. When eBay gave me enough listings, combining that with Amazon, I realized I could start, I started doing the math and realized that if I sell X number of items, I make Y number of dollars. And, that will support my needs. And that was like, all right, let's do it full time. And if I do it full time, I can go even further. And it's evolved from there, MJ. I mean, it's changed and numerous times, and it probably still will, but it's just realizing you can make enough. Oh, the 6-inch mistake. Yeah, that was a mistake, Yvonne. I think I put that they were a 34-inch inseam, and that's what the tag said inside, but I measured them and the measurement showed they were 28. So when they got them, they're like, these are too short. I'm like, yeah, if you need a 34-inch inseam, you try to get in a 28, that's going to be a little short on you, just a tad. Darren says, Jason, is jeans the main product for you to focus on reselling? Yeah, maybe at the moment it is, Darren, but it's not the only product. I kind of I have a lot of different products that I'm selling, and I take sort of a macro level view of that. I'm selling myself here on YouTube, obviously. Okay, that sounds bad, but you guys get what I'm saying. I'm creating a brand with my name and Prof Sales and so on that I think I'm selling. I'm selling on Amazon. I do sell other items too. I sell some items locally as well. But yeah, I mean, it's probably the main product in terms of time and energy right now, but it's not the only one. Ron, July was my worst selling month ever recorded. Was that the same for you? I want to know how to plan for next year. It was not the worst selling month for me. The worst selling month for me, Ron, probably on eBay, at least since I've reached certain levels, was probably June, actually, believe it or not. You want to know how to plan for next year? Clothing sales are going to drop off in the summer. June and July, even May, you're going to see a drop off if you're selling clothing. I think you're going to see a drop off, period, probably in just about everything. Now, that doesn't mean some people aren't going to be up higher than they were in previous months, mainly because they've increased their listings or whatever. But I'm saying if you took say you have 1,000 listings on eBay one year, and then you have 1,000 the next year and the same things, you're going to see a drop in the summer in general from what your previous months were. Now, if you add more listings, of course your sales are going to be higher, or if you're selling at higher price points, or but apples to apples, you're basically going to see every seller I've talked to of note has said you see a drop off in the summer for all kinds of reasons. Biscayne Kid says, why did you pick a product with such low return on investment to go all in on? Well, it's not a low return on investment. So I would disagree with the premise of your question. No, you may say it's a low amount of dollars per item, but that's not return on investment. Return on investment for jeans is pretty high. So, if you're investing $5 in a pair of jeans and you're netting $10, for instance, that's a 200% return on investment. Can you find other items you would get a 200% return on investment on? Sure, and even higher. Can you find them in bulk, like you can jeans, and that will sell virtually year round? Not many. Could you find an item where you would get thousands and thousands of potential listings where you could flip for 150 to 200% return on investment? I doubt it. Maybe books on Amazon, probably. And that's a great way to build a business. I'm trying to think if there's other ones, comparatively speaking. Well, but it's not. I mean, I think what you're talking about, Biscayne, is the actual dollars. Return on investment just means if you invest $10 and you net $10, your return on investment is 100%. So when you can pick antiques, collectibles for $5 and sell, say, at $50 per item, abundance, is that the main reason? A couple reasons there, Biscayne, I would say. First of all, I don't know anything about antiques, and I don't particularly like that market. Nothing wrong with it. It's great. There's nothing wrong with it at all. I just I don't find any joy in it. I would not like going out looking for antiques. The antique market is really fickle sometimes. You really have to know what it is you're buying. And there would be a pretty steep learning curve for me. I would literally be starting from below zero. I know so little about antiques. The second reason is you're right. Abundance. Yeah, antiques were great 20 years ago, 15 years ago, probably 20 years ago, before the internet came along. The antique market had much higher prices on lots of things. But go look at Pete, the Craigslist Hunter's videos. He's done some videos about the antique market. It fell out when the internet came along because people realized things weren't as rare. Doesn't mean you can't still find great values and amazing returns on investment. You can. No doubt about that. Not suggesting that. I'm just saying that it's maybe not as prevalent as it used to be in the past because people now can research that one-of-a-kind item that you think is worth so much money. Well, there's 20 of them selling on eBay. It's not one of a kind. It's not that unusual. So I don't know. I mean, it's just a different business model. There's no right or wrong answer there. There's nothing wrong with it at all. So, and if I had a love for antiques and knew more about it, I probably would factor it in. Plus, I don't like to break things. To me, it's like when I see antique stuff, I'm like, oh man, shipping that's gonna be a pain in the butt. It's breakable. You got to bundle. I just don't want to deal with it, honestly. I don't like shipping anything that's breakable, to be honest with you, because they break. And you don't know, it doesn't matter whether the customer broke it themselves or broke in transit. It's broken. You're going to have to deal with a return. That doesn't happen with jeans, which is nice. I love the jean idea a lot. I sell a lot of electronics and have to deal with returns. Sure, MJ, you will. And electronics is competitive. The cool thing about electronics, and you've probably seen this, depending on what kind of electronics, there's a pretty quick turnaround on your money, but margins can be tiny depending on what it is you're selling. You have to really watch that. I mean, if you're trying to compete on new electronics that you're buying in bulk, like wholesale, I mean, you're going up against the big boys who have, 10 million, 25 million, $50 million lines of credit, and they can afford to make 5% net on every item. You can't really afford that and stay in business. So it gets a little tougher. You got to look for thrifted items then, or items have been marked way down. But yeah, I mean, electronics are great. There's nothing wrong with them, and they are a quick turnaround. Absolutely. Hi, Kelly. How are you? Emily says, I built a business on t-shirts, buy for 1 to 2, resell for 10 to 20. Yeah. Hey, do you do that, Emily, on Spotify? I was kind of intrigued by something I saw on Spotify yesterday, or a video I was watching about it, but I don't know. Jeans seem to be a very good market. They are. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. I've never had one breakable yet. It's all in how you pack. Of course it is, Kelly. Yeah, it is. I just don't want to deal with it. I don't, when I want to pack a pair of jeans, this is how I pack them. And they slide right in a padded flat rate, and you're done. That's it. So, I love that about them, just that you can do it really quickly and be done with them. Antiques are difficult to authenticate. That could be, Darren. I have no idea. I believe you. I just don't know anything about them. And I'm telling you guys, if I started selling antiques, I'd have to take 6 months and become educated. I mean, I know nothing. I wouldn't even know where to start or anything. And it's just not that interesting to me, but nothing wrong with it. Nope, just sell on eBay and do some Amazon. Understand? Okay, cool. Yeah, so, guys, it's interesting. We got in a conversation there about what to sell. And, I was talking to somebody the other day, and I'm not going to say his name because I don't know if he'd want me to share this information. But I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and this person is a big time reseller. And when I say big time, I mean this person does like, $25,000-$30,000 a month on Amazon. Big money, big money. And maybe even greater now. I'm not even sure. But I asked him about, his future plans, like how long he saw himself doing this. And, well, he said, well, I can kind of automate a lot of my business now, but my goal is to have, X number of dollars in the bank and be able to just live it up on a beach somewhere. And I said to him, well, wouldn't you... And he had this plan to do that very shortly, within a couple years. And I said, well, wouldn't you get bored, and not being in the game? And he said, no. He said, because I don't love this. He said, I'm doing this to retire early. And I thought that was interesting, and he might make it happen. I've got a feeling he will. And I just thought to myself, that's an interesting viewpoint, because for him, the business is about a goal of retiring early. So what he sells or doesn't sell doesn't matter to him. He'll do whatever he can do to ramp up to that level, get to that point, and then walk away and then go do something else. And there's nothing wrong with that approach. And I know in the eBay community, a lot of people think you have to love what you sell. And I think that does help, because I think it makes you want to become an expert in it. And if you're an expert in it, you're probably going to be better at it, and you're always going to be learning. But if you've learned a lot about a particular niche or area, you're obviously going to make better buys, and, it's going to help your overall profitability. But, you can always treat this as a means to an end. If your business is there to provide you an income, well, then you do what it takes to provide yourself an income. It's not any more complicated than that. So, for him, he's just going to cash out at some point. And I kind of think he'll do it. And he doesn't care about what he sells just as long as it makes sense. And it helps him meet his goals. So there's no right or wrong way to do this. Hey guys, if you're enjoying the video, I'd appreciate if you'd hit the like button down there below. I really appreciate it. I know YouTube does too. It helps them rank videos, and I like to be ranked high. This is a shameless plug for my own video. What can I say? I love the hustle it takes to build an eBay business. Yes, it does. Jeans are all different. You're looking at 8 to 10 photographs per listing and individual descriptions with false condition. A lot of work for $5. Actually, Joe, I don't take 8 to 10 photographs. We take 6 for the most part, and it's more than a $5 net. So I would, I don't know where that $5 number keeps coming from, but it's just not the case. But anyway, but yeah, I mean, you can do them quickly if you really get your processes down. I've done a video before on the hourly rate selling jeans. It's pretty good. It's pretty good, and you could increase that if you add more people. You will shrink down because you'll have to pay them something, but overall your rate will go up because you'll get more production. The higher ones are the ones to look out for, of course. Of course they are. Of course, if you can find them. You make way more than $5 profit on jeans. Yep, you do. If you're only making, all right, I'm going to give you guys a number, and if you don't have Sales Calc, which is a free app, you can get to. You can put in, your numbers and your seller level, and it'll tell you, how much, if you sell something, how much you'll make on it. So if I want to make a $5 net profit, so if I want to make a $5 net profit, guys, $5, okay, with my current cost, I would price jeans at $12.28. Well, Mark could tell you, but other people could tell you too, you're going to sell jeans at higher than $12.28. So if you're selling them at $12.28, you are really trying to burn and turn some items. And you could do that, but you can get more than that for them, I think. I don't know if you can get 10 consistently, but Yvonne says Amazon for just money making, eBay for love of treasure hunting. Sure, you can do that. No problem with that. Fair enough. I thought you said $5 earlier. Yeah, $5 is the buy cost, Joe. Basically, for me, other people might be a little higher. Yeah, 7. Yeah, well, I'll give you an example. Let's put in a sale price of $15. $15 with $6.50 shipping added. You're going to net $7.39 on that pair of jeans. If you sell them for $18 with $6.50 shipping, which comes out to a $24.50 total cost, you're going to net a profit of $10.03. It's pretty good. I mean, that's like 200 times your return on investment, right? Which I think is pretty good. But I don't know. Call it what you want. I mean, you could sell every single pair of jeans you have at $18 and $6.50 shipping added. If you're a top rated seller and you're shipping padded flat rates, if you ship in flat rates, you're going to get just the envelopes. You're going to make just a tiny bit more, but you're going to net 10.03. So anyway, does anyone in here have passive income? Yes, Darren. And on my website, that's going to be one of the focuses too, is on ways to generate passive income. And there's lots of ways to do that, not just online. There's ways to do it outside of online, but there's lots of ways to do that. So yes. All right. So, all right, guys. Well, this is the point of the show. I'm going to show you the spreadsheet. I'll show you what I did yesterday. So we'll see if we can get that to work correctly. God help us. Let's see. All right, there's that. And All right, so yesterday was August 4th, everyone, which you can see here in the highlighted line down here. We got 13 photos done last night, got 12 listed, so basically kept up with those, sold 3. This is actually 4 today. I don't know what it's going to be yet. So 3 sold, so, you know, not huge, but some decent profit on them. You can see my net yesterday was estimated at $9.02 per gene. I guess I really need to make this dollars here. Just realized, there we go. So not a huge sell-through rate yesterday, but it looks kind of weird. I don't know why this percentage is all of a sudden, there we go. That's not right either. It doesn't seem like. There we go. Okay. Knew something was off there. So my sell to list is still 60% basically. So for every 60 genes I'm selling, I'm listing 100. So I am gaining on my listings, which is nice. I need to keep increasing that. I need to really get ahead of them. So I'm planning on listing another 13 today. The 13 were photographed last night. 1383 gross, a net of about 516. If you round up, I like to round because who wants to hear decimals, right? And, you know, sold 65, listed 109, which is interesting, and 118 photos. So probably will not be going to get any more genes this weekend. We'll probably focus on some Amazon items and so on. But, you know, a decent day. You know, after about 2 more weeks, guys, we'll have a whole month in. So we'll be able to kind of maybe see a little bit of a trend, if you will. I don't know. A month is really not that much either. But we're going to start moving towards back to school, the weather. Eventually we'll get cooler in another month and a half or so, 2 months, and we'll start moving some of these out. And it'll be interesting to see if this sell-through percentage goes up 0.7. I mean, it's okay. It's not great, but, you know, so I'm selling, you know, not quite 1% a day. I'm selling 0.7% a day, which I think if I was at 4,900 listings total, 4,900 times 0.7% would be 34 pair a day, which would be nice. I mean, that would be a profit after if 34 pair a day. Well, right now I'm only averaging 793 a gene. That should go up, but that would be a net profit of about $270 a day at 4,900 listings. Or a net profit of $8,088 a month, even if this number held, which, again, this number doesn't really mean anything yet. I think that net per gene might stay around there, but I think the sell-through percentage is going to go up, which will mean more actual dollars coming in. It just won't be any more per gene. So, you know, I don't know about you guys, but if I was netting $8,000 a month, that's pretty good. I'd be okay with that. That's, what does that come out to be? $97,000 a year. I'd be okay with that. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, we're a long way from that number and really knowing much, but you know, even with what we see so far, it's not a bad start. Not a bad start. All right. And okay, so hopefully that all made sense. I know I went through that kind of quickly, but let's see. What's your website about? Little Horse on the Prairie. I read there's Little House on the Prairie. Haha. Used to watch that show back in the day. I think we all did if you're from that generation. The website, Little Horse, is going to be about reselling. Well, let me back up. It's actually going to be about helping you develop the right mindset around being an entrepreneur with obviously a reselling focus, but it's going to be a site for resources for you to be able to log on and you know, find things that will help you hopefully overcome mental challenges as well as some physical and financial challenges as well in the business. But that's what the site is going to be about. I've got a bid out on Fiverr right now, and I've got some people bidding on the development of the website. And I'm just going to have to, I'm kind of starting to narrow that down to who's going to develop it and so on. And it's going to be cool. I mean, I'm really looking forward to doing it. I hope you guys will like it, and it'll just grow and evolve like everything else. You know, nothing stays the same. Only needing 6 photos. Yeah, they're a good return for little effort. Not already, I guess, just slightly different idea of time versus returns. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Joe, here's the thing, Joe. It's not, you're right. You can absolutely find other items with a better return for the time you spend. No argument there, would never suggest otherwise. The point is that with jeans and anything that's a commodity like this, where you can really ramp up your listings and maybe even do quantity listings on certain things, which is certainly down there, you basically can multiply your efforts a lot faster. I mean, yeah, you could go get an antique and make a better return on it, a better return on investment, and get more actual dollars back. But how many of those you're going to find? Like, so many antique items you're going to find, I would imagine, are going to be one-offs. You're going to find one here, and you may never find another one. So, and that's not bad. It just means you're going to have to go looking for other items. I love the simplicity of an item like jeans, if that makes sense. So anyway, Mark says he takes 6 photos and doesn't take any time. Yeah, I mean, you can get your listing time down to maybe 4 minutes. You know, the photos are going to take you maybe 4 to 5, depending on how quickly. So a 10-minute process, maybe a little less. Little Horse on the Prairie says coaching. Yes, that is absolutely one of the things I would like to get into, Little Horse on the Prairie. I want to make sure, though, that I can deliver value to somebody who's a student, honestly. And I have a teaching background, but this is a little different. Obviously subject matter, but also approach to it. I think there are some similarities. But, you know, with good coaching, I think you've got to encourage people to take the steps themselves. You just help them find the steps, if that makes any sense. So, yeah, coaching is something I would like to offer as well. And, you know, if I can offer value to people with it, then I'm all for it. If not, then I'd probably just quit doing it. So people are like, hey, I didn't get anything out of that, but like, all right. Or else I would just learn to be a better coach. I do one of the two. Greener Pasture says, how do you select who would get the job on Fiverr? If you've been on Fiverr, Greener Pastures, you will see people have reviews. So you can look at the reviews and be careful. Some of the reviews look like they could be a little fraudulent sometimes. Like you'll see like the same person gave one person 2 or 3 reviews. That doesn't make sense to me. Also, I'm not going to be anybody's first project on there. Nothing against people starting out a new business on there, but I'm not going to be the first time somebody goes on there and tries to, you know, and doesn't get it right. I want to see a track record, and you can see examples of their previous projects. You can go and look. So there's all different kinds of ways. So that's how I'm selecting that. I can't teach. I end up assuming people start out with base knowledge and I'm getting frustrated. I was never meant to be in tech support. Well, in tech support, pinching pesos, I think all you really have to tell people to do is turn it off and back on. See, I just made somebody in tech support mad now. All right, sorry, tech support friends. Let us find out you were a substitute teacher. LOL. No, it was actually at a college. It was not a public school. Woo! Teaching the younger ones. God bless you if you can do it. More power to you. But man, boy, that's tough. No doubt about it. Dealing with the parents is the hardest thing, I think, in a lot of ways. The administration. How big is your active gene inventory at the moment, Prof? I just showed that on the spreadsheet. If you might not have seen it, Joe, at 566 just in jeans, 566 listings. So hang on, let me get back to the. Convinced my dad to get a smartphone after 20 years, the same phone. Now he calls me. Big mistake. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Yeah. So yeah, guys, I mean, I really do appreciate you guys in the community. No joke. I mean, you guys, sometimes I'll be having kind of a rough day and I'll log on and see some cool comments and it just makes my day. It just reminds me there are people out there who are listening, and who you have an impact on, and man, that's awesome. I mean, it's a cool feeling, no doubt about it. And, you know, I try my best to be honest with you guys and say things that I know to be true. And if they're not true, I'll try to correct them. Or if I don't know, I'll say I don't know. And always, I take it, you know, I take your community and your level of engagement with this community, this channel, I take it very seriously. And, you know, I know I'll probably never meet most of you guys. We're not going to hang out or anything like that. But, you know, I think it's, you know, it's cool to have a community of people you can talk to and bounce things off of, and, you know, just have support. I mean, that's huge. And you guys really support me, and I really do appreciate it. We are a community. Yes, you are. And I've said I won't sell clothes, but yesterday I was seriously thinking of going into plus size clothing business. I think I get tired of my business like every 6 months. Yeah, pinching, that's, you know, burnout in a niche is totally understandable. I struggle with that. I mean, I do. I get bored with things very easily, but you know, sometimes you just got to grind it out. I mean, it's just really that simple. Do you find that you, sorry, my phone is beeping at me. Do you find that you need to, what does that say? Keep changing your product lines or just stick with what you know? I mean, I'm going to have to keep changing, you know, things like jeans, for instance. You know, you're always looking for different brands and different fits and so on. But the overall product line of jeans, I don't know. I don't see that going away anytime soon. Mike is in the house. What's up, Mike? Mike and I are in talks. I'm talking to his agent. He's talking to my agent. And we're in talks about, we don't really have agents. So just so you guys, just so nobody goes away from this going, Prof Sales says he has an agent. What? But we are in discussions about maybe doing a show together and a Q&A and so on. And maybe I'll do a little interview with Mike so he can kind of tell us about himself. And so he just woke up. So apparently he's a teenager and sleeps till like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. No, I just mess with you, Mike. But yeah, so hopefully Mike and I can figure out a way to do that, which will be a lot of fun. You can embrace it. I seriously want to take all the stuff I'm off and start over. I'm on the cusp of burnout. Do it, Pesos. Start over. That's better than stopping. Starting over is better than stopping. Start over. 100%. Karen would be better doing the show. No offense. She is going to do the show, Mark. And maybe if, you know, we can negotiate her show fee down a little bit, she can be a recurring guest. We'll see. I may be able to work that out. I just do a general store and never get bored. Yep. Perfectly good way to do it, Debbie. Just, you know, go out and sell lots of different things. Nothing wrong with that at all. Keeps you engaged. There's always new stuff to find. You know, it's really about your business goals. If you, you know, if you really want to go out and, you know, and ramp up your business, sometimes you do have to focus down to a few niches. I think it's a little harder when you're kind of that scattershot approach, because it really forces you to spend a lot of time sourcing. But, you know, there's nothing wrong with doing that. And people have built great businesses on that approach. So it's hard because I have $1,000 in stuff. Yeah. Well, here's an idea, Pesos. Take all those items, put them in a few stacks, take a bunch of pictures, put them on OfferUp, Garage Sale, Craigslist. Make 3 listings. Make 1 listing, but put it on 3 different sites. Put a price on it and try to sell it all locally. That's what I would do. If you really want to start over and you want to get rid of this. I'm actually getting ready to do that with some shirts I have. I'm going to take them all. And here's what you can do, Pesos. I don't know what you have, but if the items are brand name items, whatever they are, then list the brand names in the listings, because people do searches for those. I've had people find my jeans that way when I sell them in bulk locally. They're like, oh, I saw that you had American Eagle, or you had Abercrombie, or you had 7 for All Mankind, so That's an easy, quick way for people to find what it is in the listing and not just a photo. It'll generate some interest because they'll see your brand names. They'll be like, oh, well, I wonder what they got. Just do it. Try it. I mean, you don't have to accept their offers, you know, if you don't like the offer, but it's a great way to move it all at once. So, and I think that's even what Steve Rakin did with all his clothing recently. He sold it all, his entire eBay lot, which was over 1,000 items. He sold all of his eBay items to one person, and he just did it to somebody locally, I'm pretty sure. The money keeps rolling in. MJ says, are you able to monetize your YouTube channel as another income stream? Of course. I mean, you can get AdSense revenue. There's other ways to do it too. You can sell products and so on if you like. I mean, there's all kinds of ways to monetize it, MJ. But, you know, a YouTube channel, don't misunderstand. It's some work. A lot of people think, I'm just going to throw a video out there and get rich, or just not the way it works. Promise 100%. And you've really got to be about building a community and continuity and doing frequent videos and so on. So I'm coming up, I'm closing in on my 100th video, just to give you an idea. In between editing time of videos that I don't do live and these live videos, you know, that's probably, you know, at least an hour per video, maybe more. So you're going to spend some time on it. Don't get me wrong. Did Steve get out of clothes again? I missed it. Steve has reseller ADD. Yes, he did, apparently. Well, he got out of the eBay part of it. I don't know if he got out of clothing totally, but I'm pretty sure he sold all of his eBay inventory. Make an eBay or garage sale starter kit and sell it as a lot, LOL. Yeah, there's going to be, on the website, you know, there's definitely going to be some stuff on there about starting on eBay and, you know, selling clothes and so on. And I hope to just provide a lot of information. And honestly, you know, most of the information is going to be free. The only time I think I would do any paid information on there would be maybe if I designed a whole course, or, you know, maybe a really extensive book of some sort, maybe. But even there, guys, it's like, you know, I would rather just give out the information, let you guys disseminate it. I'll have advertisements and so on, obviously on the site and through YouTube. And, you know, that way you're not directly being asked to contribute anything. You're just, you know, you're coming on. Sometimes people click on an ad or something, you know, and whatever. But, you know, I don't know. I think there's ways to build it largely for free, honestly. And I don't know. I think it's a cool business model. What kind of shirts are you getting rid of? Maybe interested. They're all name brands, probably a lot of Brooks Brothers and Ralph Lauren. I actually haven't looked at them in a little while, and it's a variety of different ones. Most of them are long sleeve, I would say. So, yeah, sure. I don't edit my videos. If I had to do edits, I wouldn't put up videos because I just don't have the time, patience to sit there and edit. Yeah, there's not a lot. There's quicker ways to edit pinching pesos. The best ways to edit is just it's to do it right the first time. That's easier said than done, but you can do that. You can just, you know, there's ways to kind of get the video done. And that's the thing about these live vlogs. They're obviously going up with no editing at all. Speaking of which, I'm going to have to end this one soon so I can get back to work. But yeah, so, I mean, you can definitely do the videos that way. I don't know. Yeah, so Mike, oh, by the way, Mike, I did respond to your email and sent you one back. So check your inbox if you didn't see it. And hopefully it didn't go to spam. Anyway. All right, guys. Well, look, I think we're about the 53-minute mark, 54-minute mark. I think that's probably going to wrap it up for today. I appreciate everybody's comments. Lots of great questions in the chat today. Amazing. You guys were on point. You guys were the best chat audience I've had yet. And I don't just say that to all the chat audiences. But no, I really do appreciate it. You guys are a great community. And before you leave, please hit that like button down below if you wouldn't mind. I appreciate it. Give me a little love there. Shameless plug. And consider subscribing if you haven't already. So that way you'll know when the next video is up. Even these live vlogs, you'll get an email saying, hey, Prof is live. I do apologize for the sound issues in the first video, so I'm going to delete that one. But looks like we got it right here on the second one. I don't know why it causes me such issues sometimes. Just crazy. We have to hire a audio technician. But anyway, I do really appreciate it, guys. And leave me a comment down below. I like hearing from you. I try to answer all of them, or at least give you a little bit of love with the like button. And I will see you guys, I'm sure, sometime tomorrow. This weekend's going to be super busy for me. So if I do a live update, it might be tomorrow evening late. I might try to do it in the morning before I get going. But, I'll see what I can do. My schedule this weekend is a little bit nuts. But, all right, so that's going to do it for now, guys. Thanks for watching. And as always, it's Prof Sales saying good sales to you.